Welcome back. We have come a long way in this journey, and I hope that you're feeling more confident that you are equipped to have natural spiritual conversations. As always, our goal is to be able to recognize the posture of someone. Where are they? What's their relationship to the gospel so that we can graciously and effectively respond. Today, we're talking about those who are in a seeking posture. Actually, we're going to spend the last 2 weeks of our journey together thinking about how can we graciously respond to those who are seeking. When someone is seeking, they're showing some curiosity. They may be asking questions about church or about faith. They may be even actively trying to understand who is God? What is He about? How does life work? They might be wondering about something that they heard in the Bible. So how do we respond when someone is seeking? The spiritual conversation curve invites us to engage in conversations of exploring and clarifying. In these conversations, we are exploring their questions, not our questions, not our agenda, but the questions that have come up for them. And we are clarifying the gospel. Yes, what it means, what it's about, but even more so, what does it mean for them? Admittedly, these conversations take a bit more preparation and humility, because the reality is we may not actually have an answer to their questions. Conversations with people who are seeking can be exhilarating and exciting, but they can also be intimidating. And they may even feel a little bit overwhelming. Sometimes people who are seeking, they can be intense in their curiosity and in their passion. They may push, and it may feel like they're pushing hard, and our temptation may be just to shut the conversation down. They may even ask questions that you never thought of, or maybe you never felt permission to ask yourself. And if this happens, don't shut them down. Invite them to go deeper, to continue the conversation. As a matter of fact, this is what Jesus did all the time. He was always encouraging those who are seeking to continue to go further, to continue to seek, to continue to ask their questions. Jesus never condemns a genuine curiosity, and neither should we. We actually do well to remember that when people are actually seeking, what they're really seeking is the truth. And Jesus, if you recall, says in John 14, "I am the truth." And so when someone is seeking, no matter the questions they're asking, if they ultimately are really seeking the truth, then what they're going to find at the end of their questions is Jesus Himself. So we don't have to shut down their questions. Instead, we can encourage them to keep asking, encourage them to keep seeking, and then even offer to explore their questions with them. This is often what is referred to as apologetics. Christian apologetics is the task of sharing or defending the Christian faith in a thoughtful and well-reasoned manner. In other words, when someone has an objection to the Christian faith, we listen well, make sure we understand their objection, but then we offer a thoughtful, logical, well-reasoned response to demonstrate perhaps how their objection is false, or at least how the claims of the Christian faith are well-founded. There's good reasons that we can put our faith and our trust in Jesus. This is where the preparation part comes in, because it does take some effort at times. It takes some effort to understand what we believe. Why do we believe it? Not just because we're supposed to, not just because we were told to, but are there good, solid reasons? As we explore those for ourselves, we'll have more reasons to be able to share with people in our life who are also seeking. And it's okay if you don't have the answers. I know it can be scary, and I know none of us wants to look dumb. None of us wants to misrepresent Jesus or the faith. Telling someone I don't know can actually build your relationship with them. They'll trust you even more if they know that when you say something, you really know it. You really believe it, because you'll also say when you don't know something. Also saying, I don't know, gives you a good reason to return to the conversation later. You might say, that's a really good question, or I haven't really thought about that, but I would like to. And then you could say either, let me look into it and I'll get back to you. Or perhaps you say, would you like to get together again and explore this question together? Avoiding the question may make it seem like there isn't a good answer to the question, or there isn't a good response to the objection, but there likely is. Maybe we just need to take the time to go look for it. And there are a ton of resources out there to help us find answers to all sorts of questions. Certainly there's plenty of books, there's articles, there's websites, there's YouTube videos from Christian apologists who are addressing all sorts of questions and objections all the time. There's lots of resources available. It's just going to take some time and some effort to explore the answers to the questions. And there's another benefit to exploring the questions of your family and friends who are seeking. Undoubtedly, you are going to grow in your own understanding and in your own faith as well. At the end of the day, logic and well-reasoned answers alone are not going to bring someone to faith. What I've found to be true is that the hardest questions to deal with are really questions associated with heartache, with suffering and pain. And there are some good, logical, well-thought-out reasons why these things happen, but those answers alone don't deal with the pain that someone's carrying with them. It's then that we have to remember we're bringing them back to Jesus, who's not just an answer, but a person and a presence, the one who can heal all that is hurting and broken. We can point people to Jesus, who is the only one who was good, and yet he suffered supremely. He knows heartache and pain and grief and suffering, and out of the worst suffering, God brought hope, the resurrection. See, the resurrection points us to the answer to the ultimate question. Is it going to work out? Is the future going to be better than the past? Will things that are hurting and painful and broken ever be healed? And the resurrection is our promise that yes, someday God is going to make all things right. So even as we explore the questions of our seeking friends and family, we pray. We pray that Jesus will not just answer the questions of their mind, but will also answer the questions of their heart and of their soul. For the rest of today, you are going to explore some of the common questions and objections that people have with the Christian faith. Thinking about them in advance and considering possible answers will help you be prepared when you're engaging in conversations with your seeking friends.